Okay, super quick. This one's not going on YouTube. Controller tier list. This one's not going on YouTube. This is an affront to God. This controller should not exist. Decent, but I'm not happy I'm using it. That'll be A for above average. I'll put Xbox One in above average. PS3 is like the epitome of decent, but I'm not happy I'm using it. The PS3 controller is like technically fine because it's a DualShock controller, but the triggers are really stupid. Super Nintendo, honestly, I think a lot of people expect me to put it in S. I think it's above average. I think it's fine. I don't know what I'm doing with B and C yet. I'll figure it out. C is... Why does this exist? Wii U Pro Controller. Why does this exist? Why are the sticks like that? What? Who thought? Like, who thought this was a good idea? I think the Sega Genesis controller, I'm going to put that in won't complain. I think it's fine. Like, you get used... Most of the games on the Genesis, it doesn't really matter that the buttons are splayed out like that. But, like, it's fine. Like, I'm not going to complain using... If I'm playing a Genesis game with a Genesis controller, I'm not going to complain. I just won't complain. Falls? Name one game where this controller layout is bad. That's on the Genesis. Maybe I just haven't played enough Genesis games. Lion King? You need like 2 buttons for Lion King. Bloodlines? What? Like... Is there a difference? This one doesn't have Super Famicom. Like, my Super Nintendo controller is a Super Famicom controller. I'm putting them in the same tier. They're the same thing. But Super Famicom is better because of the buttons being convex instead of like the concave ones. Why is the Wii U Pro Controller on why does this exist? Is this YouTube bait tier? No, I'm not even putting this on YouTube. Like, seriously, why does this exist? The Wii U is such... Never, I don't need to explain myself to you. Xbox 360 is goated. I don't know what to tell you guys. People are like, but the D-pad, No. It's just straight up one of the best controllers ever made. Straight up. It's so good. It's so good for everything that it's trying to do. And the D-pad, I will tell you, you don't need to use the D-pad for most games that the 360, like, you don't need to worry about the D-pad in that way. And not only that, the D-pad is goated for Soten. That's for sure. Yeah, I think the 360 is better than Xbox One by a decent amount. The Xbox One is fine, though. I mean, it's basically like they tried to do the same thing, but then they changed stuff for no reason. Also, the bumpers are better on the 360 than they are on Xbox One, and the triggers are better. PS4 controller, DualShock 4. I really don't like the touchpad. But other than that, it's fine. Like it's fine. Like I think it's an upgrade from the DualShock 3. DualShock 1. DualShock 1 is goated. DualShock 1 is such a good controller. It's so versatile. It's so good. It's so I've been playing Soten on the DualShock 1 recently. This shit goes dummy. This shit goes hard. The D-pad is like the perfect, like, it's like separated it into its own like sections. Oh, it's so good. So good. DualShock 1, fantastic. Fantastic. Sticks are the only problem. Honestly, I don't even hate the sticks. I think the sticks are fine. Like if I'm using both sticks in a video game, it's not like they're in a weird position or anything like that. Like the rubber on the top is like that type of material where it like helps grip onto your skin, so it's not like your fingers are gonna slip. It's really nice. Isn't it super tiny? Do you have massive hands? What's wrong with you? Does this look like the controller's too small? Does this look like it looks fine. You have access to all the buttons. I think at worst, maybe you're like risking touching when you're going for the start button, you might touch the stick. I think it's fine. Nah, DualShock 1 is goated. You guys are all smoking weed. DualShock 2 actually is in a different tier than DualShock 1. The DualShock 2 is slightly worse because of the analog buttons. The analog buttons make the DualShock 2 just feel worse. I don't know how else to describe it. The analog buttons make it feel worse. DualShock 5? Like, it's decent, but I'm not happy about using it. If you hand me a DualShock 5 controller, I'm just going to be like, thanks, I guess. But it's not like a bad layout. Like, the Wii U is a bad layout. Like, the sticks being there, that's a bad layout. This is technically a fine layout, but Xbox Series X, I think also belongs in decent, but I'm not happy about it. I think it's like, again, like, it's not as good as the 360. It's not as good as Xbox One. Like, well, would I complain? Would I complain using an Xbox One controller or an Xbox Series S controller? You think PS5 is above goated? Okay. I'm glad that you think that. Bro, this shit is goofy and you know it. I'll leave it in decent, but I'm not happy about it. Oh, wait. Okay. The Genesis with the 6 buttons. Wait, no, that's the Sega Saturn. Wait. The Sega Saturn, I've seen... I didn't realize the Sega Saturn controller looked like that. Let me add this. There you go. There you go. The NES controller gets its own tier. I will say, if you were playing NES games, this is a good controller for playing NES games. But that's it. So, I don't know if you guys have ever used the Wii Pro Controller. It's actually fine. The Wii Pro Controller is actually pretty decent. Like I've used this controller to play like Super Metroid and like other Super Nintendo games emulated on my Wii, and it's fine. It's fine. The Nunchuck and Wiimote. This deserves its own tier. I think this deserves to be in Why Does This Exist, but also it's goated at the same time? It's so weird. Because it shouldn't be good. But when you're playing Wii games that utilize the controller properly, and the games themselves aren't annoying about it, it's actually fine. But for the memes, why does this exist? Joy-Con are probably the worst controller I've ever used in my entire life. Straight up, Joy-Con have to be one of the worst design controllers I have ever used. Who is this for? For children? Literal children with the hands the size of, like, my mouse? Like, the buttons are this big. They're spread out in these awkward places. The freaking Joy-Cons themselves are obviously made like shit and break all the time. It's a controller for ants. Dreamcast is actually goated. I don't know how to tell you guys this. The Dreamcast controller is really good. They're very solid, difficult to break. If you're playing a Dreamcast game, of course, for sure. The actual layout is incredibly comfortable. And the VMU slot, bro. You get to put in little VMUs and see your chow jumping on the screen or whatever. I love the Dreamcast controller. Wire placement, though? Oof. Actually true. Wait. The wire placement is really annoying. But it's not that bad. Could be worse. It is weird that they put it through the bot. I guess it's because of the VMU. I don't know. I just love the Dreamcast controller. I would put the original PlayStation controller in goated. It just doesn't have analog sticks. But it's really good. If you're playing a game that doesn't need analog sticks, this does just fine. Like, I would say it's on par with the Super Nintendo controller. They're very, very similar. Maybe God doesn't like my opinions because it's raining and now there's lightning outside. Maybe God doesn't like my opinions. You know what people are going to get mad about? Is my Wii U opinion. I think it's really good. The gamepad? I liked the gamepad. The Wii U gamepad was actually really good. The reason why the Wii U Pro Controller is in Why Does This Exist is because the gamepad is better. The Wii U gamepad was a better device. Straight up. If you could get over the fact that it's like spread apart so you're holding it kind of wide, it's fine. And the touchscreen was actually nice to use. The Wii U was a fun device. I enjoyed it for what it was. Unless you need a second controller, somebody else plays on a, you know. No, you can't use two gamepads for co-op, no. So, you know, just play your game with the, you know, that's fine. Where does the DS fit into this list? It's not a controller. The Duke. The Xbox OG. I think it needs its own tier. That controller, dude? The Duke? Fuck. Why is it so thick, bro? Shit, dude. Fuck. Why are you looking like that? Fuck, dude. Also, what's up with the white and black buttons? Do you guys remember that the Xbox just had a white and black button? I forgot about this for the longest time. It had only one set of triggers and then an extra fucking buttons off to the side. I did enjoy playing on the original Xbox using this controller, though. And lastly, the GameCube controller. It deserves its own tier. It deserves its own tier as well. Hello? I love the GameCube controller. But holy shit, is it one of the worst ergonomic controllers in the world? Holy shit, it's bad. It is not good for you to use. You should not be using this controller. It is bad for you. It will turn your bones into dust. It is the arthritis machine. But damn, do I love it. Damn, does it. Ooh, I just love the lay. Oh, shit, hold on. It's just, dude, it's so, and the C stick, and then the fact that the buttons are all like central, and the A button's bigger than all the other ones. Oh, God, I love it. But man, it's bad for you. Wavebird? Don't use the Wavebird, bro. What, are you playing in the year 2027? Because that's when your inputs are going to come out. You're going to press buttons, and the input won't show up until the year 2027. Fucking using a Wavebird. Using radio waves to send information to a radio receiver. Got me fucked up if you think I'm using a Wavebird. Fucking 20 years of lag on that bit. Curious, the 8-bit dough would be in probably Affront to God. Mostly because they are one of the most hit or miss style controllers when it comes to quality control. The 8-bit dough is either goated for you, or you get one that breaks within 2 days. Have I used the Hori split pad? I've never seen a Hori split pad. Never used it before. And honestly, don't care. Because, I mean, I have this, which is decent, but I'm not happy about it. Actually, you know what? I think the Pro Controller deserves to be in won't complain tier. Because I think the Pro Controllers, I would be happier playing on a Switch Pro Controller than like any of these controllers, actually, now that I think about it.